Hello, humans of the internet! Welcome to this level 15 interview with Gavin Newman, who plays Garen the Blessed. I am going to make him do the whole name shortly. We will get to that. Because I don't know the whole thing. But it's your character, so you should.
Yeah, I do. True.
Excellent. So, hi.
Evening, how are you?
You just hit level 15 in the Gallant
I know.
Horde.
It's crazy.
You fought
It's
a dragon.
crazy. Yeah.
You got slightly singed.
Yes. I'm combustible. The things you learn.
It turns
I'm
out.
combustible, yeah.
So I thought it would be a good time to have a bit of a chat about Garen, see what secrets we can uncover, see if we can dig out some story juice that will make people very excited and want to know what happens next, and all that good shit. But before we do all that, Gavin.
Yes.
What is your character's name?
His Royal Highness the Heir Apparent Garen Curtmantle, Knight of Solemnia, member of the Brothers Free, Battle Priest of Kryn, and medic to the Gallant Horde.
Very good. I feel like you left out something. There should have been something about snickerdoodles in there. I'm just saying. It's canon.
Maybe. Yeah, it is canon. It is canon. Proficient in hugs and snickerdoodle.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ode to cleric.
Ode to cleric. I love it. So, let's start off just by talking about you, Gavin, the human behind the human.
Okay.
And how you came to D&D and what D&D means to you in your life and how you ended up in this crazy community.
Right. Okay. So D&D for me, way back in the 80s, 86, I think, with the original like basic D&D, the original D&D where you had, the fighter was a class and the elf was a class that went to level 10 and the halfling went to level 8 and the wizard had 4 hit points, way back then. My first set of dice that
I
came
won't
with
tell you how old I was in
I know,
1986.
Please
Anyway,
don't, please don't. I was in high school.
Uh-huh.
I was heading towards high school. And those old boxes, they had like blue plastic dye that you had to color in the numbers with a crayon, well, with a white wax crayon or something to actually fill the numbers in. Yeah, that's old. You had to color in your own numbers. I don't know this fancy stuff with things inside dice, and this was had to color my own.
Make your own dice.
Doing it back home in the 80s. Yeah, so that was my first.
So you're old school.
And then they had the next release was like in a blue box. It was the from the level 12 to 20. It was the advanced one. All
right,
heaps powerful. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, cool.
I've got them in the attic somewhere. It's still real.
That's probably pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
to still have that stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been playing D&D for almost as long as I've been alive.
Yeah, thanks. Ouch.
Cool.
Good. Yeah. It doesn't hurt anymore. I get to talk with Kit, and we're like, I feel better.
She's
better.
the granny.
Yeah.
And then you ended up here in the Horde. How did tell us about that?
So really, my adventures into the Horde are all Will's fault.
Yes.
Who plays Ardve Brooklady.
Yes.
So Will and I, we live in the same city, and we ended up tabletopping together. So we were actually playing face-to-face D&D before all the things that was 2020, 2021 happened. So we were playing face-to-face, and he went, "Oh, I'm doing my first stream game. What even is that?" So he explained it to me. He explains it to me, and I went, "I have no idea what that is and how that would work. That just sounds insane." Anyway, he's like, "Yeah, but the DM, I used to play with Jack. She's really cool. It's a great format. I think you really like it." Yeah, sounds like a cult. Spoiler, it's a cult. Okay. Anyway, so he then sends me the link to the YouTube clip when it's posted. Thanks to our wonderful post-production guy, Adam. I watched it and went, "Okay, that's actually kind of."
Which one was it? Which one did you
cool.
watch?
I think I watched The Orphanage. I want to say The
Orphanage.
Oh,
yeah. Yep. Ghosts. Yep.
I think. I
Mhm.
think. I remember watching his interview going, "Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that was the one that I saw. Yeah, yeah, yeah."
Yeah.
I went, "Oh, well, okay." And then we weren't able to play, around the table anymore, like, that face-to-face contact stopped.
Yep.
So, online D&D was an option that kinda I found or I explored by necessity, you know? There was no other D&D around.
No.
I'm lucky enough, I've been in a tabletop community, for here in Wellington for, like, 18 years. We play every Friday. I get to
Wow.
play every Friday. I'm very, very lucky.
That's awesome.
Same group of people. We play 2nd edition. We still use Stacko.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're still old school. We've done, 3.5 Pathfinder, but we
Yeah.
stick with 2nd edition, advanced D&D. Anyway, here now, thanks to Will, he's like, "Come play." All right, I do one. Did the Barrows as my first one, and I'm like, "This is a clusterfuck." I'm all the way in. Oh,
Such a great game. Oh my
oh,
god. It
I
wasn't
felt
intended to be such a
I
truly
felt I felt awful. My setup was all wrong. I was having internet connections. I sounded like a robot. I kept dropping out. You were leaning and going, "I can't hear this guy, man. I want to hear him, but I can't." And, I was, and then afterwards, when it was all settling down, I'm like, "Whoa, this community isn't just very giving in their ability to role play and their ability
yeah,
to yes and just get them behind a scenario."
cool. So it's Will's
Amazing.
fault that you joined this
Completely.
community. We like the word
Completely.
community.
Yes, I remember making that distinction myself. It's not a
Yes.
cult.
Yes.
It's a community. It's better for PR.
No. No. You definitely did not actually make a deal with an actual archfey. That didn't happen.
Kind of actually
Anyway.
feels like it a little bit. Yeah.
um okay, so the Horde is a very different kind of format, which
Yes.
we've kind of touched on a little bit, but
Mm.
it originally, the concept originally was to try to beat the true BBEG of D&D, which is scheduling.
Oh yeah. No.
And it was something I started when I was living in Wellington, which was this idea of one-shots that had a certain kind of continuity, that were structured around this guild, so you could have characters that would return, but each thing would be in a sort of discrete entity.
Mm.
And when I started it, I thought that's all it would be, a series
Yeah.
of one-shots. And then the
Well,
Discord happened.
50 is still a series. It's just a long series of one shots.
Yeah, but it's become a lot like now that's just the tip
Yeah.
of the iceberg.
Yeah.
But I guess my question is, what for someone who's obviously played D&D for a very long time,
Yes.
what is that like? That kind of format for you as a player?
Yeah. Look, it's different. Is the
Yeah.
is a simple answer. And there are pros and cons for both.
Mhm.
And I very much enjoy that we can come together, form a very disparate party very, very quickly,
Yeah.
and go have a full like D&D experience from start to finish in 3 or 4 hours, and go,
Yeah.
actually, that was a heck of a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
To your point, under the iceberg, the Discord service, which if you happen to be stumbling upon this video and you're not part of the Discord service, just find it and join it, because it makes so much more sense.
It really does.
Everything we're going to talk about now, you'll be like, I feel like I've only watched part of a show, and you have.
You have only
The
watched part of the show. Yeah.
Yeah, the other half, the other 80% of it
Yep.
is on the Discord service, which is an environment I'm still learning and still trying to
Yeah.
adapt and get my head around, because that's very alien to me. So yeah,
And it has evolved very quickly. Like Will and I were talking the other day about how when we started, we had one channel for RP and one channel for out of character stuff. And
Yeah.
that was it.
That's it. Yeah.
Now we have a truly phenomenal
Yeah.
number of different things. Yeah.
I very much doubt there were more than a dozen when I would be very surprised if there were a dozen, right?
Yeah.
And now there's
People,
like
yeah.
20 huts. I'm like, how's that?
Yeah. It's been
Yeah.
a journey.
Yeah. I do like the opportunity to see a lot of different styles of roleplay and styles of builds and mechanics, and the way in which we approach the game. We seem to have a lot of dungeon masters who are now players. They've got the chance to remove the shackles and actually
Yeah.
get in, and they're
Yeah.
all fucking chaos monkeys. They're all just like,
Yep.
oh my god, just
Yep.
no, just one.
Yep.
Just get back in the box. Oh,
No.
it's far too late for that now.
There are no boxes. The
Yeah,
boxes
yeah.
have
And so
pulled up their
it's just
skirts and run
it's
off.
hilarious.
It's great.
It's just like, oh, okay, all right. It could only ever exist as a one shot because we couldn't survive in the campaign. We would just detonate the world.
I mean, but it is this is the thing, is it's become
It has become a campaign.
kind of a campaign. Like
I know.
it which was not my intent. When
Yeah.
if you'd asked me on the first day, who is this person, the lady, I would have been like, oh, she's just
Uh,
this chick who has a
yeah.
thing. But now there's a whole story.
Yeah. If you get up on the table and reverse the Coke bottle and look through it, it kind of makes sense. If you're a long way away, it kind of makes
Makes sense
sense.
inside my brain.
Yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
have it all here.
Yeah, I believe you.
All right, let's talk about Garen.
Okay.
So, when Garen showed up, he was this relatively simple, jovial, happy guy.
Yes.
Not very smart, very
True.
prone to forgetting his shirt.
Yes.
That hasn't changed. But I feel like you had a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes with him right from the beginning. Is that
Yes.
accurate?
Yes.
You
yes,
already
yes.
had all
Yep.
this stuff in the background.
Yes.
So, can you tell us a bit about that?
So
Because he has
Garen,
quite a complex backstory.
he does.
Yeah.
So Garen is one of those characters that existed in another world, and what I mean
Mhm.
by that is he started as a level 1 character, and he had ventured up to about a level, I'd say 6 or 7.
Yep.
And I pulled him back to a level 5. Remember when I submitted him, you're like, cool story, bro, but actually he's got to be a 5. And I thought it was
Yeah.
at least 5.
Yeah.
She's like, no, it's got to be 5.
No. Yeah.
So he'd been doing some stuff. So he had a lot of backstory behind him. Most of it, thankfully, wasn't homebrewed. It was all like D&D lore, so that made
Yeah.
sense. But he was quite well established on my own head.
Mhm.
I know that he came to the Horde, or he was placed in the Horde by his god,
Yeah.
Kiri-Jolith, as a place of sanctuary,
Mhm.
because he was too hot to handle. He was marked for death. All this stuff was happening. Is like, I
Yeah.
have to get this piece off the board.
Yeah.
And so I put it into the lady's realm. Right.
Mhm.
You cool off there, learn some stuff, earn some stuff, and
Uh-huh.
when it's ready, when you're strong enough not to die the very first time, and everything's
Mhm.
cooled down, then I'll come and get you. You just stay, sit, good cleric.
Cool.
In the meantime, he's like, well, now what do I do?
Mhm.
And so he took a while to try and find his lesson. Like, actually, I can kind of get him behind this, and I'm not sure why I'm here. He didn't really give me instructions, because gods never leave a playbook.
No.
Right? They
No.
always just say, I'll get back to you.
A couple of metaphors, a few
Yeah.
obscure dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is. I mean, he's um, his culture kind of based loosely on a very feudal Japanese culture. Which is
Mhm.
why he was very protocol heavy when he first
Yeah.
arrived at the realm.
Yeah.
Would always give his full title.
Yeah.
Would be bowing, and
Yep.
you could offend him quite easily, or he could offend others quite easily with his interactions.
Yep.
Which we always just went, that's the Kryn accent. He's like, yeah, I'm just not quite sure how to interact with all these. This is a very different world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of So it took him a while to kind of mellow.
It was kind of charming, though, I think.
Yeah, I
Like,
thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I did try and do he's a kind of a bumbling idiot, and
Yeah.
he's just kind of happy to be here. He's kind of affable. He knows he's not very smart. He doesn't lean into it. It's like, let's just go and do some stuff. I don't know what's happening at all. It's
Yep.
fine. Yeah.
Yep. No, it was good.
He's
He's gained depth, though,
yes. Yeah.
quite significantly, I think.
Most of that a lot has been around the ability to roleplay via Discord, which is a medium I'm still learning, but
Mm.
you would do that over the table over a number of years.
Yeah.
This has been you've been able to concentrate that quite quickly through through very intense roleplay
through
over
not
Discord.
not having a life and just living on Discord forever.
Yeah. I mean, the pandemic has helped in that respect, because we had nothing
Yeah.
else to do for like
Yeah.
6 to 7 months. It's like, well, I've got nothing else to do.
Mhm.
I'll write a 15-page story on. Yeah. Yes. He's a. I mean, in some respects, it's not an unfamiliar trope, right? He's the reluctant hero who
Yeah.
who either has to take the crown or has to reestablish order, something he doesn't want to do. Right?
Yeah.
and has purposefully taken his time in the Horde as a bit of a reprieve for himself. And actually, I don't have to worry about that. I've actually been parked. I can do what I
Mhm.
want. I can ride. I can metamorphosize into a giant eagle. I can fight someone who pretends to be a T-Rex. I can get
Yeah.
bitten, and I can do all this cool stuff, and I don't have to worry about it. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until just the last few levels and a couple of dream sequences, it's all kind
Yeah.
of got a little bit closer. He's like, I'm gonna have to actually grow up and deal with this. I
Deal with
actually
it. Yeah.
have to actually decide whether I'm going to like suck it up and actually do what I'm supposed to, or whether I'm just going to be a clown all the time. Well, not a clown, but whether I'm just going to be a jovial, happy idiot, or actually pick up the damn crown and wear it. There was a the actor who played Gandalf. His name escapes me.
Ah,
Knighted. You know who I mean?
Ian McKellen.
Ian McGallen, right?
Mm.
He's got a great story where he's in his 40s and he was offered the part of King Lear at the Globe,
Yep.
and he was angsting with his friends, and they just said like, "Pick up the damn crown, man." And in some respects, that's kind of Garen's going to have to pick up the crown. I
Yep.
think. I don't think his father's on the throne, and his little brother can't have it.
Mhm.
He's just not a good dude, right?
Mm.
And other people are like, "You're not very smart, but you're quite wise. You got a good heart. You could make a good king." Just don't tell me that because I don't want to know. Yeah.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to
Yeah,
hear
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. He and Aragorn are at the back just swapping swords, man. I don't want to be king. No one wants to be king, man. That's a dumb job. Yeah.
Yep. Um. So he has developed this little family in the Horde.
Yeah.
Right. And
Find
to be perfectly honest, unsurprising to anyone who knows anything about me, that concept of chosen family is very integral to the Horde because that is what it has become. But that's also not surprising if you know anything about me because that is something that I'm very attached to, that idea that you choose your people. And
yes.
but he has taken that to a whole nother level. You all have a little house together and you and Fiona refer to each other as brother and sister, and then he got married.
Yeah.
This
That is the thing that happened.
literal temple, no one can touch it person.
Yep.
Married Zenashi.
Yes.
Please tell us how this happened, because many people were flabbergasted by this turn of events.
Yeah. So really, it came to, and I mean this. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I think what happened is that the end of the season 2 came through, and the marketing guys looked at the ratings and thought some of these story elements we were going to have in like season 4, season 5, we want to bring forward. And really really lift up the show, particularly in that 18 to 39 female demographic. What'll we do?
Some romance.
They just contrived a romance. The writing was a bit weak at the beginning. Kind of felt a little bit like a Days of Our Lives run for a bit there. But I think it made good, and it seemed to make good viewing. Right, the numbers went up. Everyone was happy.
I'm not buying it. It's improv. You made that happen.
Yeah. What happened? So, the question is why.
I guess the question is what makes Zen different.
Yeah.
Why is it because that's an interesting combo.
Yeah. Because she doesn't love.
Really, but then how? Explain that.
I'll explain.
Yeah.
So, one of his tenets from being a battle priest, from being a war cleric, is around, and basically it's a rip-off from some of from other tropes. That attachment can cloud judgments.
Right.
And when you're in the field and you have to make a call, you have to be objective and detached.
Mm-hmm.
And through in the Discord, when working with like Zook or Gear or a couple of other injured people, Garen has made a call where he's like, I'm not going to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I can heal you or I can heal you, and I have to make a choice. And he's had
Mm-hmm.
some conversations both with Jean-Luc and dear Naya, about that sort of stuff. And he basically like, Naya, I love and respect you, but you cannot make the hard call.
Yeah.
You have to give me this.
Yeah.
The stuff of healing. I have to be the one to make the call. If you're doing something and Artur is hurt, you cannot focus.
Yeah.
You have to let me make that decision.
Yeah.
Because I can remain objective and detached about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, so he knows that when push comes to shove, Zen doesn't care.
Yeah.
And not that she doesn't, actually. That's unfair. She can't.
Yeah.
And he doesn't hold that, and you can't hold that against her. So one of his things is like, I can kind of have a nice, safe, distant relationship because as much as I can pour into it, she doesn't have to pour anything back. So there's no risk,
Oh, I see. Okay.
right? There's actually very little risk
Yep. Yep.
there, right?
Yep.
She cannot get
Mm.
angry or jealous or hurt or scared or anything,
Yep.
which would impact him emotionally because he's very emotional.
Yeah.
If he does not like Fianna being upset. He will not stand
Yep.
for someone hurting Fianna, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doubles back on him. Zenashi is very calm and very
Mm-hmm.
calming for him. If you follow their interactions, he's always calmer and quieter and
Yeah.
more still when he's with his wife. She just earths him,
Yeah. That's cool.
and then
That's
he can
interesting.
think more clearly, and he can make better decisions,
Yeah.
and he can listen and be informed better. Who does he listen to? Zenashi and Fianna, but at different levels.
Yeah.
She can grab him and say stop, and he goes like, "Okay, I'm stopping now."
Yeah. Yeah.
He can just go, and you can just stop, okay, in a way that no one else has been able to.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
that
interesting.
not bouncing off, right? It's just this dull void, and he finds that entropy very calming and grounding because he can emote all day.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
a big feelings guy.
Yeah, and she's just like, yeah, but I don't feed that. So now you can calm down, and now you can listen, and now we can start doing the right thing or the correct thing.
Hmm.
Even if it's not what you want to do, this is
Yeah.
what you should do objectively. And he's like, okay,
Cool.
okay.
It's kind of interesting because it's an interesting combination.
Yeah.
But when you explain it like that way, it kind of makes sense. How much has that relation or those relationships, the Fianna and Zenashi, because I think both of them are similarly pulling on him in ways. How does that affect his future plans? Or how has it affected his future plans?
Yeah. I mean, like, so even in the most recent, couple of most recent missions, when Garen has gone to pray or to prepare, even his prelude to the mission has changed.
Hmm.
Like he was quite prepared to go out. I'm gonna save everyone. If I fall over, if I don't make it back, that's cool.
Yep.
Up to about 11 level 11 level
Yep.
12. Now he's like, I want to come back with my shield, not on my shield.
Yep.
Now I want to come back.
Yeah, something to live for.
Now I want to live gloriously. I don't want to die gloriously in
Yep.
battle. I want to win that battle and have the chance to live gloriously.
Yep.
That's what I want now. And that's how it's changed.
Which is
not the
kind of awesome.
Ardbeg, where we both
Yeah.
like, actually, if we would go out together to hold
Yeah.
their front line and just fight until we fall.
Mhm.
Now we've both got more reasons to actually come back, right? And that makes us fight even harder because now I've got something to lose, right? And we're like, well, I'm not losing this. I'm not doing that to Fianna. I'm not losing my time with Zen. I'm coming home.
Yeah.
And so
Cool.
it's just a change of focus there.
It's interesting because as the missions get more dangerous, that becomes more difficult and somehow more important at the same time.
Yeah.
This last one was intense. The dragon.
Yes, I've watched. For whatever reason, my setup is such that I can't have Twitch going at the same time. So for those people who are kind enough to support us on Twitch and send me the odd help, I'm not ignoring you. I can't reply in real time. So let me thank you very much. Now, I don't know. I only have one screen. I'm not sure how it's done. I'm sure there's a way. I don't know. Anyway,
Many screens is the way.
More
How I do it. Multiple
7
screens.
Yeah. But that dragon fight, that was awesome. We were terrible, right? Our tactics
Are you
were
walking straight into a dragon's
awful.
meal?
Oh,
What the hell, man?
awful. And we left the back door open, right? We could have, we respectfully to the player agency and other characters, we should have killed every motherfucker in that room. We just should have.
Yep.
Didn't.
But you had some conscience people with you, so that changes the dynamic.
Yeah, it does. And it was like, oh. And then poor Garen got himself surrounded, so he couldn't join the big fight. He's like, I'm coming. I just have to. Oh, there's a lot of them. How did I get here?
In fact, all of them are coming this way.
Yeah. Like, can I take a number? The doctor will see you in order.
It's pretty great.
Nope. Yeah. Oh, that was cool. I was never actually concerned where I was, where Garen was. He was kind of okay. I felt very nervous for everybody else because everybody else was in dragon distance.
Yeah, and if I'd gotten the breath weapon back on that second round, it would have been an interesting day.
Yeah, yeah. We've learned that Garen can survive exactly 3 dragon breaths.
No,
This is
like 5. You did 5
5.
the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I had
yeah,
to heal. I had to heal.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
well,
that's fine.
5.
Yeah, yeah.
And just
Oh,
watching the body language, right? 20d6. Everyone's like,
yep.
everyone
I
gets
was like,
very
that'll
chill.
be 113 points of fire damage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ancient dragon, you guys.
Yeah. Artur and Ardbeg at the front, our big beefy fighters are like, oh no,
Oh.
we have erred most greatly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it again.
Let's
Do
talk
it
about
again.
do it again. You're going to go
Yes.
fight an ice dragon
Yeah,
next.
yes.
Let's talk about the lady. So
Okay.
Garen showed up in the realm. Just
Yes.
oh
I love
hi,
the
here I am. What was his initial impression of her and what she was doing, and how has that changed as more information has come to light about her mission?
When he first touched down, he thought she was Kiri-Jolith, or he thought she was Mashakal. He thought, oh, this is a goddess, cool. And you're like, no, get up off the ground. You're making a puddle. Get up. Because he was wet and covered
Yep.
in mud and everything. Well, initially, he had divined through the augury spell to get to the bar to come to the lady. So he knew he was where he was supposed to be, or where he'd been placed. And it took him a long time to figure out why. Just do these random missions for me, earn some money, earn some power, and then you'll be free to go. Garen's like, cool, I understand. Narrator voice, he doesn't really understand. But he's like, well, it seems pretty straightforward until you start talking and you're going and you start, why are we doing this? Is kind of other people are talking in the taverns and you know, there feels like there's something more here. Everything has to fan. You know, Garen's probably like, I don't know, the second to last person to figure it out and goes, oh, I see now. Right. I didn't sign up for this, but okay, I'm here now. It's fine.
Yeah, here you are.
There are some things that he understands, he understands, right? The lady has been dethroned. He knows exactly what's that like. She's got a claim to a power that has been willfully withheld from her. He knows what's that like, right? She is looking to find a way back to her rightful place. He knows what's that like.
Yeah.
You know, you know, one of his in his quieter periods, he's like, I'm far from the love of my mother, the hearth of my father, and the bones of my ancestors, but I am coming home. Now he gets it. And he was always going to touch the star, right?
Yeah.
It was like, I understand war and I understand secession of thrones. For him, it was pretty easy.
So he's all in.
Yeah, well, he believes of the, you know, I guess it's a bit Anglo-Saxon when I say he's from a based on feudal Japan, but from the Anglo-Saxon idea that, you know, the ruler is divined by God, right? So the archfey, the Titania has a right to be on the throne, and that right is unvolatile. Even if her and her husband don't get on, they actually have rights to the throne. They have to figure that out, right?
Yeah.
And
interesting.
As an agent of balance, he's like, you can't the scale dream scale. He's like, we can't have just one. We can't because it won't work. It's gonna go tits up. So I have to get him behind it, and he metaphorically just got on there and pushed.
Yeah.
So he's like, well,
he's a simple guy.
I've got that Mighty Nine shirt as well. He was just get him behind and push. He's like, well, we have to get this right. Nature and, you know, celestial divinities hate a vacuum, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, someone will come and take her place. That'll be awful. So, yeah.
Interesting.
And he doesn't. He can He can't articulate. He doesn't articulate it well because he's not smart enough to. But his wisdom is high enough to go, I understand.
Yeah, I get
Behind
this.
my eyes, I get it. Right, the hamster in my brain has figured it out. I just don't have the words to tell you. Yeah.
Cool. In terms of other Horde members. So there are a
Hmm.
lot of people in the Horde now,
Oh, a lot of
and
people in the Horde.
a huge diversity of everything in terms
Yes.
of race, class,
Mm.
also just, I guess, moral compass. Like, there's a lot of variety happening in the characters there.
Yes.
Who are the people that Garen feels? Obviously, Zen and Fianna we know about, and Ardbeg there's history. But
Yeah.
who are the people Garen feels connected to, and why? Where did that
Nice.
connection come from?
Yeah, I mean, so the connection can be positive and negative, right? It can
Of
be,
course,
so
yeah.
there's even Luke Skywalker and Vader are connected, right? They don't always get along, but they're certainly connected. The Borg and the Federation, for those Star Trek lovers,
Uh-huh.
I try not to upset any fandoms. Certainly Ardbeg.
Yeah.
From Garen's point of view, he and Ardbeg have a very easy relationship.
Mhm.
So I don't need to be in his face or in his space all the time.
Yep.
But when we are together, we just go click.
Yep.
I know what that is.
Yeah.
He's the sword and I'm the shield. I look to protect and
Mhm.
he looks to attack. 'Cause that's
Mhm.
where our skill sets lie. Garen will always be the first one. Has already gone to like Gur, I think it was, or the lady a couple of times and said, he's gone somewhere. I will be the next one to go.
Yeah.
If you need someone, and Arbe's like, I know, I have to go and do this. This is my
Yeah.
thing. It's
I'm
Aladdin
fine.
business. Garen's
Yeah.
like, I understand. He's like,
Yeah.
but I know that you would come. I know that you
Yeah.
would be the very next one to follow if I needed it. I'm like,
Mm.
cool. So that's Ardbeg.
Mhm.
Dear Naya, Chrissy was a very uh, the player was
Yeah.
very welcoming as a human to human.
Yeah.
When I was still trying to find out how to freaking work the channels, I was like,
Yeah.
it's good. I don't understand. And so, you know, Chris was very kind, very patient.
Yeah.
And Dear Naya was one of the higher level characters at the time
Yeah.
that Garen was like, kind of like you, like, but I'm a bit different. But I'm
Yeah.
kind of enough like you, where I can see myself going and,
Yeah.
and getting to. So there's Dear Naya. It's hard. It's not. Garen's got a really soft spot for Murmur.
Oh yeah.
And we don't do we don't have time zones as such that I can't really role play with Murmur. But
Time zones and the fact that she has her
yeah,
own level 1 adventurer
yeah,
now.
yeah.
That takes up
But
time.
it does, it does. But before her level 1 adventurer, who's got a
Yeah.
20 in charisma,
Yeah.
um, she gave Garen his first pair of flying boots.
Oh yeah.
And through those flying boots, he's introduced Arbit to flying and Fianna. It's just like the best gift. He's like, man, it was so generous. It blows him. It's like one of his most treasured items, like the ability to wear these boots. And that was Murmur. She's always got
Mama. Yeah.
and like she's like almost a literal angel,
She
which
is pretty much an angel now.
exactly
Yeah.
with this and with the lawful good cleric's like that's pretty cool, right? Hard not to get on behind that. So Murmur's an odd one because we don't get to do a
Mm.
lot.
Yeah.
Hayden and Garen actually get along really well.
Yep.
Hayden and Garen have gone on a lot of missions together.
Yeah,
And
you kind
actually
of arrived
get
at a
along,
similar time,
yeah,
I think.
and
Yeah.
we get along really well. And the player technically brilliant. Like
Yeah.
Noah's a technically brilliant player.
Yeah. He's a very
Eridan's
clever
another
player.
one. Like
Oh
so,
yeah. Yeah.
Eridan, Hayden, and Garen have been on the most missions together.
Yep.
Garen thinks Eridan's a lucky charm because all of his missions with Eridan, except for the Barrows, have been
Yeah.
great, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. That's a few that jump off the top of my
Yeah.
head
I mean,
that are kind
that's
of the
what.
different ones. Jean-Luc is Garen's cleric.
Mhm.
He loves Naya,
Mm.
but when he needs a cleric, he sees Jean-Luc. And
I'm like,
after the
yeah.
things we did with the protecting the realm and the way that Kyle explained how hard
Mhm.
Jean-Luc was working, Garen's got nothing but props and
Yep.
has said in character, you don't get enough
Mhm.
plaudits for what you do, but I see it. I think you're fucking great.
Yeah.
I think you are the bees. And has even said, with Naya out of the realm, you are the top cleric.
Yeah. It's pretty
Garen's like,
great.
it's fucking easy. You just are. And I've got nothing but love for him. Garen's got nothing but love for him. Right?
Mm.
Thinks Artigan is a dick, but really likes Jean-Luc, right? Firstly, I'm going to say it, right? I don't
feel
want to
like
start any.
I
I don't
feel
want to start
like
any
a
beef.
lot of people feel
Yeah.
that way.
I don't want
Like
to
your
start
god is kind of an
yeah.
asshole, but you're
Well,
great.
this is point of order, right? He is not a god. The first thing that upsets Garen is like, again, he's not a god. Don't even. He's not. Just don't call him that. It's just wrong. But Jean-Luc, Garen's got a lot of time for Jean-Luc,
Yeah,
and would do anything for him. Yeah.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
a good character.
He's a good character. And Rumi Reending is another cleric, right? Another cleric
Yeah.
who's fighting kinship with that too. I get that.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of clerics. Lots of gods putting
Lots
their
of
noses in fairy business.
that just kind of proves that the queen needs to be on the throne, right? And everyone's like, at a celestial level, at a universal level, that's kind of always
Yeah.
true. And they're kind of like, well, we'll try and influence that how we can nicely without actually getting in the way,
Yeah.
because we're not allowed. There'll be
No.
rules against that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for Orla, she doesn't care. She's like, "Hi, I'm here, hanging
Yeah.
out in your realm."
She was always the exception to prove the rule, right?
Yeah, well, she's a weird god.
Yeah. She's
Do
a
you?
weird god.
She is. She is. She
Mm.
was great fun to make up. So in terms of missions,
Yes.
I would like to know your favorite mission as a player and
Right.
Garen's favorite mission as a character,
Hmm.
which may or may not be the same, but
I think Gavin's favorite mission is one he can't remember the name of. Oops. I think it might have been the Centaur fighting pit one.
oh, yep,
I
yep.
think. I should have researched this a little better.
The
There
fight
was
pit, it was called.
the
If
fight
it
pit.
was the
Yeah.
Centaur, yeah,
Yeah. There was one mission. Erden was there, which I think was the fight pit, and
yep.
possibly Rumi, which is why I think it might be the fight pit.
Mm.
And we frickin' planned in a D&D game, and then pulled that plan off, and
Yeah,
it frickin' worked.
yeah, yeah.
And
That
I'm just
game
like,
was one of the ones that you can count them on one hand. The ones where the
yeah.
plans have worked, and that
I
was
was
one
like,
of
it's amazing. It was kind of, and like Garen in character was involved with the plan. He's like, I can't believe this worked. I can't believe we thought of it. I can't believe we acted. I can't believe it
them. Yeah,
worked.
the dice were on your side.
Yeah.
Everything just came
Yeah.
together. That was
Yeah,
good.
and Gavin's just like, man, I've played D&D for a long time. That fucking never happens
No,
when the plan
it does.
goes.
It doesn't happen often.
Yeah. So Gavin's like, yes, the plan, the one where we plan. The Friends episode, the one where we plan. And
The one where we planned.
yeah, so that's Gavin's favorite. Garen's favorite. Technically, probably wouldn't be called a mission, but I think in the credits it counts, and that's defending the realm.
Oh, really?
When we were
Okay.
actually doing the
Yeah,
ritual for the
the
realm.
ritual. Yeah.
Only because, and he got to do it like post in Discord, which if you're not on Discord, you're watching this, you should be. Come on, guys, we've said it 2 or 3 times now. Just do it. Where he got to go back and pray and thank Kiri-Jolith, and he got to pull out that wonderful line from the Ninth Doctor. Just this once, everybody lives,
Everyone, yeah.
and nobody dies.
Yep.
Yeah, because he was
Yeah.
he had prepared for the worst. He turned a wing of his temple into a proper hospital. I'd
Yeah.
done dumb downtime stuff to make sure that he was healed, that he's made all this equipment that he didn't need, thankfully. But we've got all these go bags now for healing, which he pulled
Yeah.
together. He was really busy as a logistician, like from his
Yeah.
military background. He was prepped, and we didn't need it. And he said, like, well,
No.
that's perfect.
The dice were on your side that day.
Yeah, that's
Because
perfect.
it could have been
Oh yeah,
dragons and demons
Mm,
galore, but instead you got like little flying elephants, and it was
that was
just
kind of cute.
yeah. Well, it's still there.
Yeah.
It lives with Murmur now.
It does, the Olifant. And the only thing where we all stopped, right? There was one dragon, and then there was that Zariel. There was that
Ariel, yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
the fallen angel. And
Yep.
at that time we went,
Yep.
okay, well, we might have to earn it, and then we didn't have to.
And then Garen Eclipsis happened.
Yeah.
2 paladins. Whew.
Yeah, 2 paladins, and then we had the dragon that just got beat up by everybody. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, tough day for you, pal. 'Cause
Yep.
you just
Yep.
don't have that many attacks. Yeah, it was,
Yep.
but for Garen, I think that was, and it
Yeah.
also showed like from a player's character's point of view, it showed the community of spirit. It showed
Yep.
the Horde as a family, really working hard
Mm.
for each other. And although we were working for the lady and ensuring the realm survived. Really, that was almost secondary. Actually, the
Yep.
primary motivation was the family, the Horde were coming together to protect their own.
Yep.
Th-
Yep.
We want to protect us, and we are at our best, even on missions. We're at our best when we do that, right?
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
yeah.
That is one of my favorite moments. Is that because it was epic. It was pretty insane,
Hmm.
and it was cool how many
Oh
people got
yeah.
involved, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
I would get up at 5 a.m. to do that again in a heartbeat. Absolutely worth it.
There
Absolutely.
may be an end. Well, there will be an end game, and it may be something along those lines. So we will
Yeah.
see how that goes.
There'll be
Um,
a lot of level 20s in the end game. I'm just
yeah, I have a plan. Don't worry.
yeah. Actually, I'm sure you
Gloves
do.
come off.
Yeah. 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 Gloves come off and Adam rolls everything. Ooh.
Yep.
Everyone, everyone sits up straight. Oh no, Adam's rolling. Hold
Oh
on.
no.
Yeah.
Um,
Everyone be very, very well behaved.
out of the stuff coming up, what are you
Yes.
most looking forward to?
Garen's got a penchant for dragons now.
So the
Uh,
Frosty Doom, then, huh?
the Frosty Doom, immediately, yeah, imminently. And then just doing some simple math, and it's Garen, so the math has got to be simple. But he's
Yeah.
like, if I've done the calculations right and I've used both my fingers and my toes, Garen's eligible for the first seal mission. And he's like,
Yep.
oh yeah, you're gonna
Yep.
need a cleric on that one, surely. Come on.
Except I think Naya's going on that one now.
No, I would count as a cleric. Yeah, okay,
Mm.
fair enough. Well, there's always the second seal mission.
The second seal mission has a dragon in it.
Right. See, perfect. It's not the dragon beholder thing. That seems like an abomination.
It
Sign
it,
Garen
it
up.
is. It is in fact the
Yeah,
dragon beholder thing.
yeah. Sign Garen up. He'll be up for that thing. He's like, that's just an abomination.
The
We can't have that.
seal. It's
Can't have
crazy
that
to
going
think
on.
that we're getting to the point where we're scheduling seal missions. Very
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah. It's crazy we're scheduling it there, and Garen still hasn't figured it all out. He's like, I don't know what's happening. My wife is away on super secret spy missions,
Uh-huh.
researching stuff. I've got no idea. No one's telling me, and I'm too dumb to ask.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
Like, it's fine. Gavin's like, I could probably solve that riddle for you, but Garen's got no chance. I'm
Not
sorry.
with that in stats.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm sorry.
as a player, is there
Yes.
anything that we have not done in terms of missions that you would be interested in seeing in the future? I always ask this question because it always gives me
It gives you
ideas.
ideas. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wonder if there's an opportunity from a player point of view, but just something different. If we can get more elemental, uh, like environmental is the better word,
Yep.
environmental aspects in there. So the dragon mission was great. We had lair actions, right?
Hmm.
We don't get a lot of that.
No.
And it messes with us, right? You can see all the players going, "Hey, hold on, whoa, what else is happening?
What's this?
Hold on,
Yeah.
whoa. I'm
Yeah.
linear thinking. You've just thrown me that
We've had a
kind of
couple
stuff."
of them. The sewer mission also had lair actions. Lair
Mm,
actions are new to me. I'm still learning how
yeah,
they work. So,
yeah.
but
So I
yeah,
think there's,
you can probably expect to see more of that sort of thing.
yeah, and I think that's actually really useful because it can kind of short circuit some of the some of the OP stuff, some of the direct power
Yep.
stuff that the Horde can output, right?
Yeah.
Because we're stuck in quicksand. It's like, well, this is just stupid. This is a stupid way to die, and somehow I can't get out of it. And now it's up to my navel. Someone please help me because I'm going to drown on this stuff.
Cool.
I
So
haven't.
whoever dies from quicksand, you know who
Yeah,
to blame.
yeah. I wouldn't say blame. Blame's a very
I
strong word.
I would say blame.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just encouraging creativity in the dungeon master.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
that's that when I say it out loud like that, it does sound a bit blamey. Yeah, yeah.
Delightful.
And I guess there's opportunities as we move through the seals. I'd be quite interested to see some of the different, like what we're calling planes,
Plainer
right?
stuff. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And
Yep.
all of our characters come effectively from different planes, different worlds,
Hmm.
and there's probably an opportunity to you know to mess
Play with
around with
that a
that a
bit.
little bit. You know,
Yep. Yep.
but I
Yep.
think
That
overall,
that was definitely the seed of that was planted with the realm thing where we
mm,
were opening rifts between planes, and I
yeah,
was like, I can do something with this.
yeah. Yeah, and it really helps. There are a couple of character builds, that lean into that kind of stuff.
Yep.
That
Absolutely.
because the horde's so big, a little bit of a gift for those characters that they can jump on them and play
Yep.
with them and do some RP and do some cool stuff with
Yeah.
is
Absolutely.
yeah, I think it makes respectfully probably makes your job easier. You don't have to spoon feed us quite so much. You're like, here, play with this over here. Go play Go play with this over here. That's yours. Okay.
I do that. Have you not
I know.
noticed?
I know.
Yeah, have a dream.
Mm,
You can just chomp on
yeah.
that for a while.
Yeah. Try not to choke on it. Oh, just give in, Gavin. It'll be so much easier. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would only take like 3 breath weapons, but no. 5 full-on
Yeah.
breath weapons.
Someone made him resistant. That was on you.
Yeah. Um, tell us a secret.
Oh, about Garen, the Blessed.
Oh, yes. I mean, you can
Oh,
tell us
okay. Yeah,
another secret if you want, but I was thinking,
like a secret of the Horde, or
no, a Garen secret, something that
uh,
we can hint at in the description of this video that they have to watch the whole video to get it. Does he have any secrets? I feel like he has lots of secrets.
yeah, he does. I'm just thinking. There was a bit of a reveal very early on. He would have been only about level 6 and 7,
Hmm.
but it was in the early days. It was buried in a channel. I'm not sure how many people will recall it, but in his own realm, Garen is wanted for murder.
Oh,
Yeah, Garen has
interesting.
been sentenced to death for murder. He's been he's been declared a heretic, which I think has been
I
released.
knew that. Yeah.
Yeah, declared, but he's actually wanted for murder.
Who did he? First of all, did he kill the person?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, he did not.
Who was he accused of killing?
He was accused of killing another member of the Knights of Solemnia.
Yeah.
Right? He was accused of killing a
Interesting.
brother, and that's just like no,
Yeah.
that death. That
Mm.
punishment is death.
Hmm.
And so when we met Garen, he was running. He was running
Right.
through the streets. He was avoiding his own military brothers. He was avoiding them because he was wanted for death.
Wow.
And that is kind of why he had to get off the planet and off the board, because a potential heir was marked for death. He was going to die.
Interesting.
Mm, yeah.
Interesting. I might need more of that story
Okay. Yeah.
so that I can definitely not use it against you later.
Definitely not use it against him later. Yeah. It'll make coming home really interesting and
Yeah.
potentially really dangerous.
I think that whole story arc is going to be an interesting one to follow
Yeah.
because we have a few of those
Yeah.
that are.
There's
Yeah.
there's lots, and I look over it. I don't go. Yeah, I think Garen's got it rough, but geez, I'm glad I'm not Artor. That'd be a pain in the ass. But, that dude's got it tough. You know what I'm saying?
Now you're in charge of giants. Congrats!
Good luck. You were underqualified. Yeah. Good luck.
Wow.
It does not come with the manual. At least
No.
So yeah, there are some
Interesting.
lovely
Okay.
backstories and stuff out there. But yes, Garen is wanted for murder. Um,
But he didn't do it.
he didn't do it. No, it was one of those wonderful strands of history, right? Whoever history is written by the winner,
That's right.
and and propaganda has existed for thousands of years, right?
Ever. As
Thousands
long
of
as
years.
there have been people, I imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so and that's kind of where it all started to go wrong for Garen, right? And he's like, I am stuffed.
Bless
And
him.
Kiri-Jolith
He's
went,
not
well,
a
okay.
political beast.
No, he's not. He's not. And he's
Wow.
like, and he's been like telling people, I can't be king. You'd be a great king. I would be a shit king. And you're just all you're too kind to tell me or to say, oh, I'd actually be really bad at it. He wouldn't be terrible at it, but he's like, yeah, he's been, he's big and
Yeah.
he's dumb. He's been told that his whole life, so he believes it. He's like, yeah, I'm just not
Mhm.
smart enough to be king.
Tank.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that you would like to tell our illustrious audience about yourself or your experience in this crazy thing that has snowballed out of my control?
Yeah. It's amazing if you do step back and look at the content, and there's a lot of content. You look at the content,
Yep.
regardless of whether it's 3 lines or 4 paragraphs, everyone's writing a story. and we're
Yeah.
all writing a collaborative story. And if you
Yep.
pulled it apart and laid it out into a book, it would even make almost sense.
Yeah.
Which, when you think about it, is kind of cool. When you
Bonkers.
read
Yeah.
one of the channels that summarizes what are the big points, and read them, and you go, actually, we're all kind of interconnected, and it's all kind of pulling at the things and the same thing in
Yep.
different directions, and it's just sentient entities being sentient entities and getting it right or getting it wrong or miscommunicating or not understanding tone or not understanding culture, and then coming together and smiting a dragon. Except for the one time when we tried and got our asses handed to us. But the very next time, smiting a
Next time.
dragon.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
chances of smiting 100%.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
I didn't say I'd kill it. I just said I would smite it. That's absolute. Garen will smite it. It won't kill him, but he will smite it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is. It's amazing what it
Yeah.
has turned into. It's so
We'll-
much bigger than any one.
Yeah.
Really.
We'll-
Like it's its own thing that is it's pretty phenomenal.
The Shawnee says, if you're drawing, you're an artist, right?
Yeah.
If you're writing, you're an author. Right?
Yep.
And every time we hit enter, we're kind of publishing it to
Yep.
a part of the world. It's like,
Yep.
that's
And the number of people who tell me
wow.
that they wake up in the morning and the first thing they do is read the Discord because they
Yeah.
want to know what happened while they were sleeping because it's
Yeah.
all over the world, so it's 24
know.
hours just
I know.
so
Part of me
it's
says that can't be healthy, right? The first thing you should probably do is at least tell your significant other that good morning and you love them. I would think,
To
right?
be fair,
And if
my
you don't-
significant other wakes up several hours after I do. So, and
oh, you got time to
he
kill.
he only grunts for the first hour until the
You've got-
caffeine
yeah.
kicks in. So,
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's a thing, man. You've created the what you have created, what you've generated, the genesis, is just amazing. And there are people who
Same.
I don't want to overplay it, but like they live for this stuff. This stuff is important
Mm.
to them.
Yeah.
It's important, and when we're locked down or when we're separated or whatever, it's important for them, right?
Yeah.
There are people whose connections, whose ability to emote with people. This is the only medium they've had for months,
Yep.
and that's
It's pretty
humbling
cool.
and it's amazing.
That's
And
pretty cool.
I hope you take the time to go, I fucking did that thing. Yeah, me. Because we all do. We all go,
Yeah.
that Jax, she did a thing. We go, fucking yeah, Jax. And also Adam, because he's the tech guy.
He
But,
does a lot of it
he
too.
does a lot behind the scenes. And
He does. He also does a lot of listening, bouncing things
Yeah.
off him. Is this going to work?
Yeah.
And him going, oh.
And he
So
just rolls like a demon. So, also
he
try and
does.
be nice to him.
He
Because next
does.
time he gets a crit, it might come my way.
He does.
It's,
It's really annoying because he does that all the time.
yeah.
He rolls. It's like 18 up every time.
It just starts being fair. It's like,
You
come on.
got all the
Come on,
luck in the
Adam.
household. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Like, Adam, let's stop being fair. Just use your left hand. Roll with
give
your
Jax
offhand.
some. Jax also needs some, please. All right.
Yeah. Go on.
It has been a delight to talk to you about yourself and Garen and your experiences. Thank you so much for being part of this thing.
Thank you.
As you have said before, if it weren't for everybody else, it would just be me telling stories to myself, and that's not nearly as interesting.
No, it's not.
So I'm very grateful to everyone who has taken this thing into their hearts. And yeah,
It's just so lovable.
level 15, 5 missions to go.
Well, I'm not ready to say goodbye. I might have to make a few silly deals so he gets to hang around a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, his wife's a long way behind him.
That's true.
Wife.
That is true.
Yeah.
So we will be airing this
Mm-hmm.
before one of your future missions. Probably not the Frosty Doom, because that has like 3 of you who are 16 in that one. So I think we'll be airing one of the earlier ones before that one. But if you're watching this on YouTube,
Yes.
Garen is absolutely about to be on Twitch in a mission of some kind where he may or may not smite a dragon. So you should roll on over to Twitch and watch that happen.
Insert catchphrase here. Huzzah!
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you for your time. You are
you.
awesome, and we are very grateful to have you. And good luck surviving to 20.
Guaranteed. Absolutely no problems whatsoever.
Thank you for watching, everyone.